Come on then, own up. Who thought I'd be sacked by now? Well, not been sacked. Not only that, we've somehow stumbled into the semi-final of the FA Trophy. So we've got the first half of that today. Hello and welcome to Season 1, Part 6 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have an important league game away against Nuneaton in the league, and then the first leg of the FA Trophy semi-final against Boreham Wood. We've got the home leg coming up today. We'll just then go straight into tomorrow's episode with this another league game and the other half of the semi-final. It's all started going okay. We've had a slight tactical tweak that I'll show you in a minute. Unbelievably, this run of form that only involves 4 wins, 3 league games, a centre-back playing up front for a lot of it while Nathan Jarman was suspended. That run makes us record-breaking for a Gainsborough team. We've gone 6 matches unbeaten, and that's a new club record apparently, despite only 3 of them being in the league, one of them being a cup, an FA Trophy replay that we had to negotiate via penalties. I mean, to be fair, Margate are decent-ish. They're roughly our kind of level, but in the other one, in the Conference South. So it's not disastrous, and we have won some league games, and the league is starting to look a lot more comfortable than it was. With 11 games still to go. We've now climbed back out of the relegation zone again. We're 3 points clear of the relegation zone. A little bit more of an unbeaten run. If we can get to 6 unbeaten games in the league, then hopefully we'll be safe from the dreaded relegation and we'll be free to go and win the FA Trophy. And all in all, it'll be a good season. I mean, the board are already pleased. They're pleased with my management of the team. We're 3 points outside the relegation zone. I've got secure job security. I could manage Gainsborough Trinity for life and never have to get above the midway point of the Conference North. What a cushy job this is on at £240 a week. So, this is the tactical change. It's revolutionary. We've decided to go with 4 defenders, 4 midfield players, all in a straight line, and 2 attackers. I don't know if it's been done before. We're sampling it and trying it out, and it seems to be going quite well. Also, look, we've dropped down to just standard as well for some games. We still go attacking for some. We've even done a bit of counter-attacking here and there. And I'm listening a lot to my assistant manager's advice. We've got a new assistant manager, and I'm listening to him loads. And we've taken all the team instructions off. We've just gone totally straightforward and simple. We're in the Conference North. We're a rubbish team. We've got rubbish players. Let's go 4-4-2, standard, flexible, no instructions. Stick everyone on a player instruction that works for them, and hope that's enough. And believe it or not, going back to basics seems to be making more of a difference than I would have expected it to do. Transfer-wise, we did do another panic buy as well, and this one's going to be a costly one. We've let Ian, I guess is how we say his name, Ian Evans has gone to Leamington on a free transfer. He wasn't on very much money. We brought in Liam Chilvers on a lot of money from Solihull. I mean, he has played half a season in the Conference National for Solihull this season. He should be the best centre-back at the club, at least as good as Leslie Saki. And, you know, I brought him in I was during that little period where I thought we were going to be playing 3 at the back and we needed an extra top-quality centre-back. The problem is he's come in not even close to match fit. He was down at 50%. We still haven't got under 23 games to get him match fit in, although someone did... There you go, see... Someone put this in the comments and now I've figured out how to do it. So for those of you who've said, why don't you just get your assistant manager to do it? There you go. Let's give you a little bit of proof of this. Under 23s, arrange friendly matches, arrange a friendly every week. He's not doing it. I mean, I don't know if I have to do that. I've already told him elsewhere to manage that team. Perhaps that's enough to get him to do friendlies. Who knows? But yeah, I'll arrange some friendlies now and try and get Chilvers fit. But what it means for now is he can't get in the team, despite the fact that he's the highest paid player at the club. We're paying him £375 a week on a part-time contract. He should be familiar to anyone who's got any kind of history in the lower leagues of Football Manager. He always pops up somewhere or other. I certainly always notice him in my saves because he comes up on scout reports and has done for years. So, yeah, a bit of a lower league management, football manager, legend has arrived on lots of money, but we can't get him in the team at the moment because we've gone to a flat back four. So this is the team that we're going to be playing for the first of today's 2 games away against Nuneaton. So we've got Willis in goal, who is now club captain. We've taken the captaincy off of Wilson because he wasn't getting in the team. He's now getting back in the team again because he had a little bit of a run at right back, did quite well. We've moved him over to centre back. But in the meantime, we took the captaincy off him and gave it to George Willis. So he is now club captain. A back four of Roberts, Saki, Wilson and Gurr, with Reed, Wright, Douglas and Sparrow in midfield and Jarman and Johnson up front. Who's Reed, I hear you ask? Well, he's been here all season. We just haven't been playing him. He's a left midfielder, winger. So obviously had no way of getting into the side when we weren't playing with wingers, but he's now played the last 6 games. They're the 6 games we've been unbeaten for. He's obviously the difference maker. He is the best wide midfielder we've got at the club. Joe Guest and Liam Davis are still knocking around to offer him some competition, but he's comfortably better than both of them. The one thing I don't like so much about doing this 4-4-2 is it does involve pushing Matt Sparrow out onto the right wing. I'd quite like to bring in a proper right-sided midfielder so I could get him back in the middle and offer some competition to these two, but they are forming a rather useful central midfield partnership without the old man in there anyway. So, I don't know. Fingers crossed. It'll all work out. Let's get into this game. I know it's going to be troubling for some of you to see me going to an away game, not attacking. It's an away game against one of the better teams in the division. Nuneaton, there you go, mid-table team. They're favourites for the game. They're throwing men behind the ball, but they've got that 3 up front that we've already come against us. We've come up. I can't speak to it. Hold on, mouthful of Coke Zero. It's got to be the answer. We've come up against a sort of flat front 3. Flat front 3. THs, can't do it. Flat front 3. There we go. Got there in the end. We've come up against it a couple of times already and it never works out well. 25 seconds in. This is why it doesn't work out well. I wasn't even watching, so I was too busy practicing my practicing my speaking with you lot. What is with my mouth today? And straight away, this is the problem. Gurr comes out to take care of the player who's on the right side of the front 3. Loses the ball, so our centre-back had to come across to cover, which let the guy in the middle suddenly not have anyone marking. So when the pass made it across to him, he was obviously going to score. And we just don't seem to have a good way to counter that, especially with a flat back 4 and a flat midfield. They're playing a proper sort of grown-up system that's going to involve decent players understanding team instructions. We're not capable of doing that. We're just playing pub football. And it had been working quite well, but we're 2-0 down inside the first 2 minutes. Purely because you lot are here watching. I can only assume that's the reason this is happening. The one saving grace is it's happening so early that we might have an opportunity to get back into the game and turn it around. But, I mean, again, their front 3, it should be banned from doing it. That's what I can't say it. It shouldn't be allowed to happen. Their people at the front of the pitch are tearing us apart, and every time they attack, they're getting a goal. I mean, we're still only in the 3rd minute, and they are all over us. They're coming at us again here, so they've got a player drop deep this time, causing problems because we have to step out to try and take hold of him, and that leaves gaps behind for the other 2 to get in. Look, he's doing it again, drawing a centre-back away, leaves loads of space behind him. I mean, I don't know how to remedy this. Do we drop a centre midfielder back? But that goes against the whole simplify everything. It's what's worked. We're just going to lose today, I think. It's going to be one of those games. We're relegation fodder. We're supposed to lose sometimes. This will be one that we lose because tactically we have nothing. Our players aren't smart enough to do tactics. They've shown that over and over again as the season has gone on. And the only time they've strung a couple of decent results together is when we've basically played with no tactics. Jarman's in here. Can he pull one back? He does. There's still only 8 minutes on the clock. Nathan Jarman's got his 31st goal of the season. And we're back in this all of a sudden because we're doing no tactics. No tactics is the way forward. Tactics are for losers. We're just going to put 11 players on the pitch, tell them to do what they do best. They'll probably lose, but at least they'll have some fun doing it. No tactics, no instructions. It's the way forward, I tell you. Or at least when, I mean, look, Willis does well to get across and cover because having this trio of attacking players just ripped us apart again. He's got a name and a half, Jordan Rico. What? I mean, that's a good name. I'd be proud of that name. Saki comes across well to cover then, and Willis, he's just having a little dribble with it. No tactics, he can do what he likes. Perhaps he's allowed to just dribble the ball where he wants under no tactics, because basically, if he feels like that's what he wants to do, he should feel under no obligation to either do it or not do it. It's up to him. Is that Kelvin Langmead, formerly of Peterborough United fame? One of the worst centre-backs ever to play for Posh. And, they've just missed a sitter. They've had 4 clear-cut chances inside this first half hour. We are, and it's fairly safe to say, being completely torn apart today, but have an opportunity here. And we take it. And just before half-time, despite the fact that Nuneaton have been ripping us apart for the whole game, we've got a chance of going in at half-time level, and that should surely just be confidence building for us. Joey Johnson, with his 19th goal of the season, he's been in. I mean, Nathan Jarman's is the one who's getting noticed and grabbing the headlines, but Joey Johnson's 10 years younger than Jarman. He's the future of Gainsborough. If he's getting 19 goals I think he's still a teenager. Imagine what he's going to be like in 2 or 3 years' time. I mean, to be fair, I'll have been sacked, promoted, or moved on some other way. Whatever happens, I won't be managing Joey Johnson at Gainsborough Trinity in 3 seasons' time. Just no chance. But, if he sticks around, the next manager might have some fun with him. If he becomes a Gainsborough career man, he could get hundreds of goals for the club, provided they stay at this level, because obviously if they get promoted, he'll have to move on. He won't be good enough for the next league up. Right, Sam Wright's coming off. Bring on Mahon, who is another unfortunate victim of the change to the system, because he came in when we had every intention of still playing with an attacking midfield player, and he was there to offer some competition to do that. We don't do that anymore, so he doesn't really get in the team. There's just no way for him to get in. We're going to bring Liam Chilvers on. Let's have a little look at him. We'll bring him on for Saki. Ultimately, long term, I want to see the two of those playing together. But for today, we'll just bring Chilvers on, have a little look at him, try and get some match fitness into him. Sparrow with a chance to cross here. Can we take an unlikely lead? And we can. And it's former captain Matt Wilson, his first goal of the season. We're 3-2 ahead in a game we absolutely do not deserve to be leading in. And Nathan Jarman did absolutely superbly there. That cross was going out for a goal kick. Jarman hurled himself at it and somehow managed to head the ball in the opposite direction to what he was flying through the air. Puts it across the goal brilliantly, looping it over the head of their goalkeeper. And that was just excellent from Jarman. And if ever, that should be worth 2 assists. It was that good. See now, tactics. If we were using tactics at this point, we'd try and drop back and hold on to this slender lead that we have in a game where we don't deserve to be leading. But remember, no tactics around here. Tactics are finished. So we're just going to carry on doing what we're doing. Standard, fluid, flexible, no instructions. Do what you want, lads. It's up to you. If you want to try and hold on, hold on. If you want to go and grab a goal, grab a goal. We don't care. We don't do tactics here anymore. Right, I might move Wilson up into midfield because he's a better midfielder. There you go, we'll do that. In fact, should we really have Chilvers covering? Because he's about 1,000 years old. That's surely not going to end well. We'll do that. Let's put Picton covering. Just like to have someone covering. And we've just got 10 minutes to hold on for. I know telling someone to cover or not cover is bordering on tactics, but I think it just about avoids tactics. It's more of a little cover a bit. That's not tactics. It's just a little word in his ear as he's entering the pitch. We've just won a game we did not deserve to win. The unbeaten run goes on, and relegation. I spit on relegation. We're 6 points clear of the relegation zone now, and now we get to go and play in the semi-final of the FA Trophy. This could turn out to be a much, much better season than it looked like it was going to be an episode ago. Could be a dream final here. Admittedly, both of us would have to beat Vanarama National League opposition. But wouldn't that be fun if we could play local rivals Boston in the FA Trophy final and just get our revenge on them for what they did to us earlier in the season in the double-header? I would really, really, really want that to happen now. In other news, we've had our youth intake, and I haven't looked at any of them, so we're going to have a look at our youth intake now, although it's got loads of first-team players in there as well. Can we get rid of the ones who are ineligible? We can probably... There must be a way. In match squad... We want to hide players who are unavailable. That's right. So these are the youth intakes. We have no youth players here at all before. I haven't looked at them yet. let's have a look to see if they're any good. So reports is what we want, isn't it? Ooh, there's a couple who look all right. Richard Chisholm, central midfield player. Decent-ish current ability. I mean, he could be in and around the first team squad already. 4.5-star potential ability. I like the look of him. And then Sam Woodford, a right back who could potentially play wing back. Again, another one who could be getting some first team opportunity at some point. And lastly, Sean Luto. Unfortunately, not got much in the way of current ability yet, but does have the potential to be half decent at this level. So they're the standout ones. There's a few others you might get a look in at some point, but it's nice to actually have some youth team players now, because we haven't had that before. So at least we've got the option to get the youth involved a little bit more. Now there is some. And also, very importantly, if we look at schedule under 23, we've got fixtures for our under 23s for the rest of the season once a week, so we should get some match fitness done as well. Thank you to whoever it was in the comments who told me how to do that. I'm sure you didn't have to do it through the schedule screen before. I'm pretty sure you could do it from this screen. Apparently I was wrong. But anyway, forget about all of that. We've got a very important game against Boreham Wood in the FA Trophy. It's the first leg of the semi-final. Our team is unchanged from the team that won in the last game. The only tweak I've done is I've pushed James Reid on to be attacking rather than supporting on that left wing, purely because my assistant manager told me on standard we should have 2 to 3 players doing attacking, and we only had Johnson. Had a look, Reid seemed like the obvious one. We've got a defensive fullback behind him on defend, so there's going to be Roberts is just going to sit there so he can afford to drift forward a little bit more, whereas on this side we've got Gurr on support, so it would have been silly to put Sparrow on attack and potentially left gaps in behind there. I know it might sound like tactics. Promise you it's not tactics. We're still 4-4-2 standard, flexible, no instructions. There's no tactics here. I won't have anyone say otherwise. Right. Let's... How many buttons do you have to press to get into the game? Right. Oh, for goodness me. For goodness sake. We're never going to get into this game, are we? Right. Are we there? I mean, I had to click that space bar 8 times to get into the match. That's just silly. Oh, look, they're playing a grown-ups formation. I think they're in the Premier League, 4-2-3-1. Can't do that in non-league, surely. Let's go and show them why no tactics is the way forward. They've even got one of their central midfielders slightly further deep than the other. They've thought about this. Oh, apparently it works. Adriano Moke has just put them 1-0 up in our home leg. That dream final is looking a little bit further away already, isn't it? How much... It's wonderful the way Football Manager as a game occasionally just lets the stars almost align, so you get all excited and think, that's our local rival. They're also having an unlikely cup run. We could meet them in the final, but no, we're going to lose. They'll probably go on and win the whole thing. And what could have been? Although we've seen in the last game, we can come back from worse situations than this. We're 1-0 down at half-time. That's a little bit different to 2-0 down after 2 minutes, although admittedly in the last game, it was 2-2 at half-time. So I guess at this point in the game, we are slightly worse off. Nathan Jarman's got himself sent off again, hasn't he? No, he didn't. Oh, I always worry whenever the game is stopped and Jarman's involved, because he likes a bit of rough and tumble, does Nathan Jarman. And he's already got himself suspended for 4 games, I think, earlier in the season for scrapping. No one's playing particularly well today, are they? Right, let's bring Chamberlain on for Jarman. We haven't got much in the way of proper substitutes, have we? Worsfold, who on earth is he? Why haven't we got a goalkeeper on the bench? I've got to stop letting my assistant manager pick the substitutes, because this is getting weird. We'll make those 2 changes for now. There you go. We're brave. We'll take off Nathan Jarman. He's not had a good game, though, to be fair, apart from almost scaring me into thinking he'd get sent off. Right, there is Jarman. It's going to be his last move that he's involved in. Sparrow crosses in. Jarman obviously scores. We can't counter the substitution now. Nathan Jarman has his 32nd goal of the season. If only we could keep him on the pitch, then he'd probably get another one. As it is, never take off your top goal scorer. Write that down and hold it up to the screen next time it looks like I'm going to do it. That's just silly. Well, hopefully, whatever his name is, all right, stop clapping now. Hopefully Chamberlain will come on, want to prove a point that he would have done just the same thing. If we could, I mean, a 1-1 isn't going to be a disaster from this first leg. I don't know if away goals count in this Mickey Mouse competition, but should we see who on earth Ashley Worsfold is? 26-year-old striker who we've never heard of. What does he do? He's an advanced forward. Well, Joey Johnson's not playing. It's the day for throwing on strikers who we've never heard of. Johnson will probably score with his last touch now, which is fine by me. Or Worsfold might end up being an absolute genius, and we should have been playing him all season long. As it is, neither turn out to be true, and it looks like it's going to be a tame little 1-1, which is fine. They're conference national opposition. We could still go and nick a goal in the second leg, which will be coming up tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and thank you very much for watching.